Welcome to SVG-TV News for Tuesday, December 22nd, 2020. I am Rochelle Batiste with the details. The Ministry of Health and the police are still searching for a British national who they said yesterday had broken quarantine. The police yesterday issued a public advisory about Eiffel Shallow, asking the public to be on guard and requesting Shallow to contact the Health Services Subcommittee of the National Emergency Management Organization, NEMO. In a later advisory yesterday, the police informed that Shallow was continuing his quarantine in the Central Leeward constituency. However, today, the health authorities and the police said that Shallow is yet to make contact with the Health Services Subcommittee of the National Emergency Committee or the COVID-19 Task Force or the police. They have therefore appealed to the general public to continue to take the necessary precautions if they come into contact with Shallow. And Clair's Distribution Limited today handed over a Christmas voucher in the amount of $37,000 to the Ministry of Health for the nurses in St. Vincent and the Grenadines who have been on the front line battling COVID-19 and dengue fever. The handing over ceremony this morning was done by CEO of Clair's Distribution Limited, Jimmy Ford, and received by Minister of Health, Sinclair Jimmy Prince, at the conference room of the Ministry of Health. Ford said that each nurse will receive a voucher worth $50 as appreciation for the hard work that they have been doing in the pandemic.
This is our token of our appreciation for the work you do, for the life you save, for the life you make better. I know personally, I could not have been here had it not been for this profession and for the work that you do. Because I've been down the road of tragedy and disaster on more than one occasion. So we at Clair's Distribution and Campari, we thank you very much. We appreciate what you're doing, and we hope you have a very Merry Christmas.
And the Minister of Health thanked Clair's Distribution Limited and Campari for the donation.
For this fine gesture, it is not often that you have the private sector partnering with government institutions.
True.
To say thank you very much. Over the years, we have had a lot of criticism, most of it unfair, in respect of the work that nurses do. And nobody has come forward in this way to say, listen, forget about that. We appreciate the work that nurses do. And the private sector, particularly Clair's Distribution Limited and Campari, they are made up of flesh and blood Vincentians who represent the public. And if they say that there is a need to honor nurses for the work that they've been doing, then this is the cry of the whole society. I'd like to thank them very much.
Minister Prince also commended the nurses for their hard work throughout the year and especially in this period of the COVID-19 pandemic. Prime Minister Dr. Gonsalves is encouraging people to be of help to each other this Christmas. The Prime Minister made a special appeal on radio last Sunday for persons to look out for one another and especially those who are experiencing difficulty and challenges due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
I also want to ask those whose circumstances permit that they help a family, help their neighbors. I know some persons have a number of challenges of their own and may not be able to help as much as others, but as the people who are shut-ins, like people, the elderly who are having challenges, people in the hospitals, family who are in a condition of bereavement, and those who are marginalized and having real difficulty. And
Dr. Gonsalves said that sharing is one way of assisting those in need once a person can afford to do so.
They may have more yams and dasheen than they can actually reasonably deal with. It's whatever we have to be giving and sharing at this time. It doesn't make sense. You go to the church and you say, look after your neighbor. But your neighbor who is next to you and who is finding a difficulty, and you can afford to help, that you don't go and help. And very often, the best form of solidarity, the most meaningful form, is not to help from your surplus.
Meanwhile, the Prime Minister said that as the year comes to an end, a personal expression of gratitude has been extended to frontline workers in recognition of their magnificent contributions.
In a practical way for us to give tangible expression of gratitude to frontline people, the nurses, the police who have been dealing with, going beyond the call of duty to deal with COVID, people at border control and the like. As you know, that, as everyone knows, we have done a pretty good job in handling the COVID situation. I had myself, from my own resources,
Senior nutritionist Nicole Franz said there is no reason why diabetics cannot enjoy the Christmas holiday. She, however, reminded them to eat healthy and avoid a lot of sugar. Franz was speaking on a program of the Caribbean Kidney and Medical Center published on its Facebook page.
Please do not starve. Missing breakfast just so that you can indulge in a mega Christmas lunch or dinner will only cause your sugar levels to increase. Scout and then serve. Christmas table will be filled with lots of tasty treats, but assess what you should eat first and then make healthy choices. Choose smaller plates. In choosing a smaller plate instead of the humongous plates, your portion sizes will be under control and your sugar levels will not spike. Portion per portion. Use the My Plate method. Half of your plate should be non-starchy vegetables, quarter should be complex carbohydrates, and quarter should be lean meat.
The chief nutritionist encouraged diabetics to stay active by engaging in traditional household and other activities as part of their daily exercise routine so they can have a controlled and enjoyable Christmas.
Avoid alcohol. Alcohol will only make your sugar levels increase. Choose a spritz instead, a wine or sparkling water. You can have your sweets. Experiment with local fruits, 5 fingers, passion fruit. Create new recipes which will be low in sugar and low caloric content. Stay active. Take part in traditional household cleaning. Dance in the comfort of your living room to Browne music. When at home, enjoy casual walks. Let's have a controlled, moderated, and enjoyable Christmas.
Meanwhile, persons with chronic kidney disease are encouraged to stick to their food restriction during this Christmas season.
Dialysis, please don't miss your treatment. Take your medication as prescribed and stick to your food restriction. In terms of Christmas cake, check out fruitless Christmas cake recipes and spice up your Christmas. Skip the ham and green peas. Traditions in St. Vincent, yes, but not for chronic kidney disease patients. Sweet potato pie you can enjoy. Just remember to soak the potatoes the night before. Same for all ground provisions. Soak them the night before, draw off the water before cooking. In terms of your Christmas beverages, sorrel is a no, but ginger beer is.
2 common triggers of asthma and allergies are dust and smoke, and children who are suffering from these chronic illnesses are encouraged to keep away from house cleaning and from outdoor fires. This word of advice has come from pediatrician Sharian Davis Andrews as she spoke on managing chronic illnesses during the Christmas season on the Caribbean Kidney and Medical Center Facebook page.
Many persons may be doing house cleaning and the house may be dusty at this time. It is recommended that children with allergies and asthma are kept far away from the dust. If this is not possible, ensure that they have on a mask. I would encourage children with allergies to stay away from outdoor fires, from coal pits. And, parents, even if your child does not have allergies or asthma, please be aware that your neighbor may have a child who may be affected by the smoke. Smoking exposure may also be in the form of cigarette smoke or anything else that's smoked. Asthmatics can be affected by secondhand smoke, and therefore please keep them far away from this.
The pediatrician also urged parents to stock up on medications in the event a child should have an asthma attack or allergic reaction.
Most asthmatics should be on an inhaler every single day. I encourage you to take your medication as prescribed. Please also stock up on your rescue inhaler, which is your Ventolin inhaler, in case you have an asthma attack. Pharmacies may be closed during the holiday season, so it's important to have your medications on hand. For those with food allergies, please ensure that you are aware of what is in the food that you're eating when visiting relatives and friends. Please ensure that you have your antihistamines or your EpiPen in case you have an allergic reaction.
And figures indicate that alcohol consumption spikes during the Christmas season. But nephrologist or a kidney specialist, Dr. Tawanda Browne Cesar, has warned of the dangers of excessive consumption of alcohol and is urging persons not to use the Christmas holidays as an excuse to get drunk. She was given health tips on the Caribbean Kidney and Medical Center's Facebook page.
Many persons use the Christmas vacation and holidays as an opportunity to have an excuse for excessive alcohol consumption. This really shouldn't be the case. I'm not talking about one glass of wine or one drink with your friends. I'm talking about excessive alcoholic consumption. We see persons around us having 6 beers, having a PT of rum or a quart of rum. Certainly this is too much. If you need alcohol to wake up on mornings, or what we call an eye-opener, that's a problem. If we find ourselves needing excessive amounts of alcohol to have that same buzz or happy feeling, then you have a problem. If you realize that it is interfering with your interpersonal relationships, your jobs, or you're getting in trouble with the law, then we have a problem. It slows your motor function and your coordination. Excessive alcohol consumption, increasing the chance of accidents. So I encourage you, don't drink and drive.
And judging has begun in the National Lighting Competition, which is an integral and growing component of the 9 morning celebrations. The judging started in the Leeward and Windward zones on Sunday. And Vice President of the National 9 Mornings Committee, Lennox Bowman, said on NBC Radio Today that he was pleased with the level of participation of people across the country, even during the pandemic.
Telling you. I mean, this year, people could have just said, well, oh, it's a COVID year,
Things bad,
let's just not. But what we saw last night and what I saw last night, personally, for over my many years of going around judging lights, is something to behold. From Oria, Point
is fantastic.
Connery, Diamonds, you just name them, Sanssouci. Sanssouci, not Connery. You just name these places, and when you go and you look at those lights, they will freak you out. Trust me, they are so awesome.
Judging continues tonight and tomorrow, and most of it will be done in the Grenadines.
Said, I decorated my house with lights for my daughters, but after I finished, the neighbors and everybody come and say it should be judged. So it's being judged. People say, oh, I light up my house. I didn't really intend for it to be judged, but people around me saying, oh, let them come and judge it and so on. So that's how it's been spiraling.
And persons have been registering and
absolutely, Tonight on Sunday evening we did the Leeward zone. Last night we did the Windward zone. Today is the Central Town zone from Kittels right back up to Bayaboo. and to Bridgetown, and following will be back with the following night.
The results will be announced on Thursday, December 24th at Heritage Square during the final 9 mornings activities. Meanwhile, Bowman said the committee is also pleased with the 9 nights at the Botanical Gardens, which ends tomorrow evening, December 23rd, 2020.
Entertainment of the local community as well. So you go to the Botanic Gardens now, there's a rich history, there's a magnificent curation of the grounds and the flowers and the management and so on. But now there's an entertainment factor which can now be leveraged. And I am going to say that I believe that that 9 nights program is going to be one of the biggest entertainment programs this country has ever produced. And I really, really do want to thank the folks at National Park for their effort. I think it is the organization, the park, are blessed to have people with.
And Pastor Terence Haynes of the STUBBS Seventh-day Adventist Church has made a plea to the people of STUBBS to let go hatred and be compassionate. He was delivering the word at Tuesday's 9 mornings activities at STUBBS. The Seventh-day Adventist Church was part of this morning's celebration, and apart from sharing the word, they also led the worship session, shared gifts, and brought greetings.
Voting done, let go the thing, love up one another. There's a little Christmas here. Somebody here what you talking about? But they had this man, bad mind was killing him. And the first C, he had to confess it. What is the first C? Confess. I have learned, unless you confess what you got, you can't let it go and get something better. The man called a friend and said, yo, me feeling bad, you know. I think I die and that bad mind killing me. I want to let it go, but like contact cement, help me. The second C I want to share this morning is compassion. If anything I am learning is that as time goes on, people are less compassionate.
There were other activities at the STUBBS 9 mornings today, including games, song, dance, and steel pan music.
Love with me is the greatest gift of all.
Area Representative for the North Windward constituency, Montgomery Daniel, is confident that Point will pull off its 8th victory in this year's Christmas Light-Up competition. He spoke to SVGTV News at Point, which, along with other communities in North Windward, was judged last night.
I'm here to give support to Point Massive. Point Massive has been an organization that has come to the reality of culture in this country. There's no 2 ways about that. They have had 7 straights, and there's no doubt in my mind that tonight there is going to be another one. We'll make it 8 in a row. And I'm sure all of us who are around and have seen the artwork that is before us, there's no doubt in our mind that Point Massive is going to make it again. Cheers. Happy Christmas.
Some villagers who went out to lend support to Point and admire the lights said that this year's display of lights was much better than last year's.
Point looks so beautiful. Beautiful lights. I love the design.
What really impressed me is the tourist ship. When you go to see the tourist ship, you see how beautiful it looks. I come and take a pictures.
It's perfect. It's nice. So that's the beak that it sucks with, and that's the tail. You already suck already. So the blood, when they suck, you know they leave the red blood there. And this is the wing. It's lovely. It's lovely.
Me and my brother-in-law built it. It was supposed to be a different ship, but after the COVID-19, well, somebody said, instead of build a tourist ship, so That's how we come up with that.
The significance of SVG's general elections to the United Nations Security Council was discussed as part of a lecture last evening by former Minister of Health Luke Browne. The Lytle Foundation, of which Browne is a part, organized the lecture, which was held at French's House. Browne gave an overview of the United Nations, noting that this country will be entering its second year on the council, having been elected as the smallest nation ever to sit on the international body. Browne was asked about the benefits of being on the council and the reference literature, which suggested, among other things, the receipt of foreign aid.
Now it makes this conclusion after some empirical studies that we find a positive effect of Security Council membership on foreign aid receipts. I don't know if this has been the experience of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, but this is, according to this study, a very short-term kind of spike in foreign aid receipts anyway. But just to conclude the extract, on average, a non-permanent member of the council enjoys a 59% increase in total aid from the United States. I'm not sure, again, if this has been our experience. It might be something to look at. And an 8% increase in total development aid from the United Nations.
Browne suggested that SVG should have its own literature on its tenure, noting that there is not much information available on how SVG, being a small island, campaigned and made it on the council.
I can't quantify it right now, but I did say that it perhaps is something which could be the subject of a lecture in the future. You know, the course of the campaign, the cost of the campaign, and even the benefits of membership. So if we're going to go into an assessment on the cost of the campaign, even though it wasn't our intention, I believe, to benefit in this pecuniary way, because the opportunity to play a greater role and have influence on the direction of world affairs and to have a deeper understanding of matters of international government, I think by itself is a reward to and is profitable.
Browne noted that SVG has time to develop a legacy on the UN Security Council and said that there needs to be better appreciation of the history made by the country.
Moreover, we are not yet past the halfway mark of our 2-year term of office and therefore still have a significant period of time to exercise some measure of elevated influence on the direction of world affairs. The process of doing so would be immeasurably assisted by public participation and discussion on the relevant issues. We are all stakeholders as Vincentians in whether or not our country would leave a lasting legacy at the United Nations Security Council. We are gathered here at an important time for the UN itself, as it celebrated on December 14th the 60th anniversary of United Nations General Assembly Resolution 1514.
Browne said he believes there should be more such dialogues given the level of interest shown to the lecture, but noted that he would not be around for them. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade has welcomed the newly accredited ambassador of the European Union to Barbados, the Eastern Caribbean states, the OECS, and CARICOM and CARIFORUM, Malgorzata Wasilus-Sak. On Friday, December 18th, the ambassador presented letters of credence to this country's Governor-General, Dame Susan Duggan. The ambassador previously served as ambassador of the EU to Jamaica, Belize, the Bahamas, the Turks and Caicos Islands, and the Cayman Islands, and also served as head of Division for Conflict Prevention, Peace Building and Mediation at the European Union. During her visit to SVG, Ambassador Wasilewska also met with Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves and leader of the opposition, Dr. Godwin Friday. The ambassador took the opportunity to visit the Bowman Polyclinic, which is funded by the EU, as well as the SVG Community College. The chairman and board of directors of the East Caribbean Group of Companies, ECGC, has named a new chief executive officer. He is J. Robert Cato, whose appointment takes effect from January 1st, 2021. The company said that Cato is an internationally experienced strategy-driven executive who has executed commercial, innovation and marketing strategies in more than 25 countries, including in the Caribbean, the USA and Latin America. It said as well that he brings to the ECGC over 20 years commercial operations and management experience leading high-performing teams in fast-paced competitive markets. Cato is a Vincent graduate of the St. Vincent Grammar School and holds a bachelor's degree in economics and management from the University of the West Indies. The company said that its chairman and board are confident that Cato possesses the management and leadership skills needed to lead the transformation of ECGC. He succeeds Elvis Turiggs, who officially retires from the company on December 31st this year after 40 years with the company.